Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacciana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we are going to take a little peek around the National Lighter Museum in Guthrie, Oklahoma, as I talk a little bit about Ted Ballard and the museum that he opened and that he is currently trying to sell. I met Ted a couple of years ago, right before the pandemic. Went up there. I was responding to a Facebook ad that one of his sons had posted. I called and had talked to his son. Still kind of confused at that point what exactly they were listing. And when I was talking to Ted today, I was reminded again of a couple aspects of this that I'd forgotten about since that first visit that we had a couple of years ago. Ted opened the National Lighter Museum in downtown Guthrie in 1993. There are a lot of other museums up there, I guess because of Route 66 and the historic nature of some of the other things that are going on up there in that area is why he moved it up there in the first place and operated it for a number of years when he decided to move it out of town to its current location where, to my understanding, it has never actually been opened. Ended up in a disagreement with the city of Guthrie over whether or not there had to be a parking lot, and because he didn't need one, he didn't see the sense in actually putting one in, refused to do it, and therefore the museum has never actually opened. Because of that, the pictures that you're seeing are obviously very dimly lit. There were not very many lights inside the display cases. There were some display cases that didn't have any light inside of them at all. So I apologize for some of the pictures, but I promise you, you're going to want to keep your eyes open there in the background. And I hope to put together a little bit better video here in the near future of some of these specific items that he has there on display. Ted is not just trying to sell his lifetime's collection, he's also trying to sell his website domain, nationallightermuseum.com, and along with that, the framed lighter displays and some of the other things that you may see on the wall or in these displays throughout this video. When I went up there and visited with him a couple of years ago, he had an offer of several $100,000 for the entire collection, the entire museum, and that had not too long before that fallen through. At the time, he was still looking for a buyer to buy the entire thing, not wanting to split it up. In the meantime, I had lost Ted's number, but then late last week, I saw that the Lighter Museum had been listed on Facebook again, and there was a phone number included. This time it wasn't the son who had listed it before, but it was actually the phone number, the landline to Ted's house. So I called, visited with him for, I don't know, half an hour on Tuesday morning, and made an appointment to go and talk to him on Wednesday morning. He was quick to tell me that he had already sold all his Zippos, although he still had plenty of Zippos around the room, as you'll see in the videos. And I even purchased a couple from him before I left. But what he was meaning to say is that he had sold his best Zippos, and that's what he ended up telling me, that there were still probably a couple hundred of them around, but that he had sold the best ones to one or two members of the OTLS club. I did see at least a couple very old Zippos still there, and if you keep your eyes peeled, like I said, you'll probably see one or two that might be of interest. So he is now happy to piece out that collection and sell it however he needs to do it. He's just looking for buyers to either come in, purchase what he's got and take it, or someone that will buy them from photos and then allow them to be shipped. I'm sure if he got the right offer, he'd be happy to be done with the entire process right now. There were several of the big electric jump type cigar lighters. He had something that I didn't remember seeing when I was there before, something he called carbides, that required the mixture of some sort of a chemical tablet and water to make a flame that was lit on a wick that you then lit cedar planks off of. He had some very interesting salesman sample cases, kind of a generic Zippo salesman sample case, a Park salesman sample that had, I don't know, maybe a couple dozen lighters in it. It was pretty large. For how small the case was, it had several lighters in it. And also a very cool Weston lipstick advertising type lighters that were in a salesman sample, all nice and organized. A really cool display that somebody should have in their collection for sure. There were many items that I didn't really have the time to catalog everything. There were flat ad lighters. There was a whole wall of Evans lighters, case lighters. He mentioned that his Ronson collection was still intact, that he had not sold it off, and I don't even think he had sold any individual pieces. He has the bartender. He had several hound dog strikers, several other strikers, dispensers, and other cases. Very fancy Ronson type, embellished, enameled, really cool stuff. There's an old wooden Indian right when you walk in the door. He told me that that was not the chief, but the warrior, and apparently a very rare wooden Indian. I don't know anything about wooden Indians. I know a little bit about lighters. He's got many Zippo displays, both the 40 count and the larger count, 3 wide on each side that had the cabinet underneath. He had several of those that he wanted to get rid of. He had a large, huge, I thought it was a deli cabinet, but he said it was a tobacco humidor. I've never seen anything like it. But you can see the phone number in the listing that he posted on Facebook. Ted's getting up there in age a little bit, and he just prefers the simplicity of a phone call. This could be a very interesting opportunity. Ronson collectors, Evans collectors, ScriptoView collectors. He said he had sold all his Zippos, but Zippo collectors, there were still plenty of cool looking Zippos in there. Made in occupied Japan. The Perpetuals. He showed me some Gwyn lighters that were from the estate of the inventor, including one that was integrated into a smoking stand. Very cool stuff. We'll have some more videos, hopefully, from the footage that I shot up there. Ted was nice enough to show me around. If you are fortunate enough to go up there and make him an offer or look at his lighters, he'll be happy to tell you some stories and entertain you while you're there. I had a really good time hanging out with him, and we'll have more video from the National Lighter Museum in Guthrie, Oklahoma soon. Until next time.